Hi, this is Wyatt Earp 85, coming to you from the basement today with some firearm I picked up last week. It is the Taurus Thunderbolt 45 caliber Colt pump action rifle. It's the reproduction or a reproduction of the Colt Lightning, which was a pump action or slide action rifle that was manufactured by Colt back in the 1800s, 1884 to 1904, about a 20-year run or so. It looks like there's been several manufacturers that have reintroduced a clone to the Colt Lightning, and again, this is the Taurus Thunderbolt. I know Umberti makes one, and I think there's a couple other companies that make some clones, a little bit more expensive than the Taurus, of course, and as far as fit and finish, maybe nicer action. I'm not particularly sure, haven't seen them in action, so I couldn't say, but the calibers that the Lightning were made in were 3220, 3840, and 4440. I actually have a lever action rifle in all three of those cartridges. The 3840 was a surprise last summer when I fired that. That was actually an excellent round. Really seemed to be hard hitting. 3840, it seems to be a 38 caliber. It's actually a 40 caliber bullet in there that it shoots. Quite a surprise. Really hit those targets hard. 4440, of course, I have the Beretta Stampedes and the Rossi 92. The Lightning, again, we're still talking about the Colt Lightnings. They saw some use, sporting arms in America, used by the San Francisco Police Department. Not sure on how long that was, but they did use that in 4440. Wasn't as reliable, from what they said, as some of the lever action rifles. That's one of the reasons why it didn't get a following. And I'm not sure if there's some rumors a little bit about an agreement between Colt and Winchester. Colt would stay out of the rifle manufacturing, at least lever action manufacturing, and Winchester would stay out of the pistol manufacturing. But let's get into the Taurus at this point. Again, this is a Taurus Thunderbolt, so they took the Lightning name and changed it to Thunderbolt. They started creating the clones of the Colt Lightning. The outside looks the same, but some internal parts, of course, have been changed for ease of manufacturing and probably the price of manufacturing those internal parts, and probably the safety pieces of it are certainly changed in it. But externally, it looks like the Colt Lightning. I'll try to pop a picture in of the Colt Lightning versus, again, this is the Taurus Thunderbolt. And it is going to accompany my Wyatt Earp Buntline by Cimarron Firearms, both chambered in that 45 Colt ammunition. This will feed the 45 Colt in either of those. It'll be nice to have a rifle to go along with the pistol. And now this is no longer in production. I've seen a few of them on the websites for sale. Over the last few years, I had some interest in them. I saw them back on Davidson's Gallery of Guns recently, and decided to see if I could go ahead and pick one up. And there was about, from what I saw, there was 80 maybe available, and they got snapped up pretty darn quick. I really wanted something a little bit different than a lever action. Again, I do have a few lever actions now, and wanted something just to go with this nice 45. This is really a great job that Cimarron Firearms put out. And again, this is not what Wyatt Earp would have carried, but more of what Kurt Russell carried in the movie Tombstone. So let's call it a Buntline, call it a Buntline Special, or call it a Hollywood prop. You can call it really whatever really you want to call it. But let's get back to this Taurus now. This is the model C45. This is in steel, all blue, and again, the wood stock on it, and it is 45 Colt or 45 long Colt. Capacity, great capacity, 13 plus 1 or 14. So this will certainly be able to load this up and just about shoot all day. has some adjustable sights on there, and I'll get to a little bit on the sight picture, get some close-ups on that, close-ups of the rifle, and we'll go ahead and see what the trigger drop is on it, see what the pounds are on that. But again, this is the blue steel. Overall length of this is 43 inches, and it does have a walnut stock on it, but for some reason it's finished, and I'd have to give this very poor quality on the way they finished it. It looks okay, but there's no wood grain shining through, and I think one of the things that I'm going to do is take this stock off and completely refinish it myself. Get this whatever it is on there off and redo it myself, just to kind of bring out the grain and everything. And you know, really, what can I lose from doing that? To tell you the truth. So stand by for that. A little weighty, 8.1 pounds or so, a little over 8 pounds. A little bit, I don't know if you want to call it heavy, because all the lever actions are a little bit on the heavy side like that. Shooting the 45s out of there, especially the cowboy loads, it's going to be like shooting a 22 basically. I'm just going to be able to stay on target with this and fire one after another. Read some of the message boards, and I know this is not a popular rifle. Especially the early production runs of this had some problems with stove piping, and the rifle wouldn't cycle right. You get some jams in there. You get some bullets under the feed gate on there, or the loading gate on there, and they had to go back to Taurus, and I think Taurus had to do a little bit of remanufacture of some parts in there. Now this particular one, I ran it through the database, Taurus's database on their website. If you do have a Taurus, you can run your serial number through there, and it was manufactured 2011. So this is 2013, early 2013. It's been sitting around a little bit. Kind of when I opened the box up, I used to smoke cigars a lot, and if you ever open your cigar box up, you can really smell that cedar smell. Well, that's exactly the same thing I got when I opened this up. So I don't know if they were sitting in cedar crates or cedar lined rooms for some reason. I don't know if that has to do with the storage piece of it, but it still has that nice cedar smell to it. So it's pretty good. I don't think it was the stain on there. Again, being 2 years old or so, I don't think that was it. Again, it's a pump action, very short. And let me go ahead and cycle this. And as you can see, very short. And since it is a pistol cartridge, I think the stroke on that is only about 2.5 inches or so. So it is very quick. Unlike a lever action, you just can't keep cycling. You actually have to do a trigger drop on that, get that cycle again. It does eject through the top, loads through our side loading gate. And when you do load this, they say to open it up and then go ahead and load your shells in there, so you wouldn't load them in. As a matter of fact, if you try to push that gate all the way open, when the bolt is forward, you can't even open that up. You know, I'm not sure if you can tell or not, but it is certainly open all the way now when it's back like this. So once you have your 13 in there, you can close it up, cycle around, and you'll be ready to go. So again, quick short stroke on this. And let's get that trigger pull scale out, and we'll do a trigger. Also show the sights. There's been a lot of talk about the sights on this particular rifle not being great. I think they tried to mimic the original, but the sights on the rifle, they are very wide, and a lot of people don't like that. Me, at my age, that front sight's going to be a little bit blurry anyway. So for me, I think it's actually going to be a bit of a plus. It's almost like half a peep sight on there as far as the roundness. Now it is quite large as far as what you're looking through, and some guys have cut a V right in the center of their sight so they could line their front sight up with it. And just does have a blade on the front sight. I think I'll put a little bit of sight paint. I don't shoot SAS or anything like that, so putting some sight paint on my firearm doesn't matter for me. And so there is a little bit about that sight. Some people don't like it. Some people have replaced them. It does have a teeny bit of a notch in that front sight, but some of the guys have opened that notch up just a little bit, and it helps them line that sight up. So it's one of the tricks you can do for that. This does have a hammer drop on it, so it's very easy to drop the hammer without having your finger on the trigger. There's a little button on the hammer itself that it comes down into the safe position. And again, with this, not too much in the box. You have your warranty card from Taurus, which I don't care about. You have your instruction manual. These, for those of you that may have one of these that didn't come with the instruction manual, you can find one of these on the web and download it from Taurus in case you don't have one of these. So it is available out there. And this does have Taurus safety lock with it, so we can lock that out and go ahead and turning it clockwise will lock it, so you can keep your children away from it, keep them locked out without having a trigger lock on there. So that's of course one of the nice features of Taurus with their trigger locks on there, integrated trigger locks into it. And this is the biggest thing. Now, I've showed you these before, you've seen me, but this is, and again, I got this through Davidson's Gallery of Guns, and this is one of the biggest things that I liked when I got this, because I know there's been some issues with it. Guys have had some problems with it, had to send it back to Taurus and wait for them to fix it, and wait for them to fix it, and place calls to their service department there, and talk to managers, and you know to get their rifles back. I'm not really concerned about that. Again, you know, I'm not affiliated with Davidson's, but I like getting things, or I like getting firearms through Davidson's because they have this lifetime guarantee. If I have a problem with this, they don't have any more of these, they'll either get it fixed or they're going to offer me to get something else. So I'm not losing my money whatsoever on this. It's always going to be worth what it is what I bought it for. Was relatively cheap. As far as some of the other ones out there, of course, you know, there's always the trade-off of cheapness versus the especially New Birdie that goes for about $1,200, and whether we'll have any issues with that, what it's going to look like. And I think when I redo the stock, it's really going to bring this particular rifle out. But again, having this Davidson's guarantee, now I know with Davidson's and with any site, especially at now, very tough to get anything at all. But if you're looking for a firearm, check out Davidson's Gallery of Guns, because that lifetime guarantee, peace of mind, good price, certainly is one of the reasons why I go there on a regular basis. Let's take a look at that trigger pull. Coming in at 5 pounds 14 ounces. Let's try that again just to see if it's the same. And comes in at 5.8. So looks like it's breaking about 5.5 pounds or so. Okay for a rifle. Trigger does feel good. And here, Taurus Thunderbolt. Not too much to say about this. I mean, being that that pump action, very quick, very short after that lever action. And let's take a look comparison between this and one of those originals. And I do have over here, Winchester 92, and this was manufactured in 1892, this particular one. This is in 3220. This is one of those firearms I have in that cartridge I was talking about earlier. So let's just get a little bit of a look, comparison. Lengthwise, length is just about the same. This is overall length 43 inches on the Thunderbolt. This is probably about regular Winchester's, probably about 2 inches shorter or so, 1.5 inches shorter. Stock looks about the same, very similar with the stocks. And again, your Winchester. Very easy to cycle the action. And the Taurus pump, very easy to cycle that action too. It's going to be very interesting to see which one of these is going to be faster. So one of these days I may do a comparison between, say, one of these, either the Winchester, maybe the Rossi, and the Taurus, just to see how they do. So this is Wyatt Earp 85, signing out off the Delmarva Peninsula today with the Taurus Thunderbolt 45 Colt pump action rifle or slide action rifle. And I'm going to be heading up to Camp Go Time very soon, and going to have this out on the range, doing a range review on it, so stay tuned for that. And again, it should be very shortly. And just before I go, I want to switch hats here for a second. Let's get this cowboy hat off, and let's put this one on for a sec. Just want to take a minute to tell you to join a Second Amendment rights group. Does it have to be this organization? It can be. Glad to have you. Does it have to be? No. Just get out there and join one of them. Doesn't matter which one it is. A lot of things are happening these days. Get out there, stay informed, write your letters, and just get out there and be involved. That's one of the biggest things that you can do right now. But join an organization for yourself, for your family, for your hobbies, your interests, and that's all I got to say about that. Put this one back on.